Okay, folks, some of you had asked for some samples of what we would be doing on the final exam, and this video is to represent creating intervals, creating ascending intervals. So what this would look like on the test is where there is an interval shown below the staff, and then there is the lowest note of each interval pair. So what you're going to be asked to do is look at the bottom note, say, all right, I need a minor seventh above that, and then create that interval above. So you're going to create the ascending intervals in both treble clef and bass clef. So to work through some of those, first one, we would look and say, all right, we have F. We're going to, again, base this off of the F major scale or, the F major key signature. So what we would need to do is think, all right, F major, we know we have one flat. You can either look at that and say, all right, I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can count up if you want to, or you can write out the scale or just think the scale in your head if you know it really well. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Haha! I was like, what did I do wrong? Skip the D. There we go. D, E, F. Something's wrong here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so in F major, E natural is a major seventh. I need a half step below that, so I need E flat. So that's what I'm going to put here. Make sure that when you're writing these, that you are putting flats or sharps, any type of accidentals. If it's a space note, make sure that the hollow part goes through, is on the space. And if it's on a line, make sure that it is actually on the line and the line goes through the sharp or the flat or the natural or whatever it is. All right, so our next one is a perfect fifth above A. So A scale, A, B, C sharp, D, E. And because it's a perfect interval, we don't have to do anything. We just take what's in the scale naturally. And again, you could look at that and say, all right, I'm going to do a major key signature. And I know that the only things that are going to be sharp are going to be F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So I can just write my E without having to write out the scale. Either one of those ways totally works. They're both correct. All right, our next one is going to be based off of B. B is our bottom note. So if you're using key signatures to do it, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. So we have 1, 2, 3. That's a D. We know D sharp is in the key signature. So we're going to have to sharp it to make it a major third. Our last one is G. So we need a minor second above G. In G major, we have F sharp only. So G, A is our major second. To make it minor, we need to have A flat. Okay, there we go. And you might be saying to yourself, wait, but in a minor scale, the A isn't flat. In, G minor, remember that it's not based off of the minor scale because we have different minor scales. So in this case, it is just taking the difference between the major scale. If you're, sharpening it, you're raising it higher. If you are flatting it, you are making it lower. That's how we're determining these things. So don't get confused by major and minor. Major is what's in the major scale. Minor might be, it is lowering that thing that occurs in the major key by a half step. Okay, so that being said, let's go to our bass clef. So for our first one, bass clef, we have F. And oh my goodness, I'm making a mess out of that. F. And in F major, we just have B flat, F, G. There we go. Now, if we wanted that to be minor, if I wanted to make it a minor one instead, I would do F to G flat. But we want F, we want a major second above F. Okay, so let's move on. We have an augmented fourth above C. So in C major, we know we have no sharps, no flats, C, D, E, F. So a perfect fourth would be C to F, but we need to augment it. We need to make that space a little bit bigger. So we're going to raise this by a half step to make it augmented. So we have to add the sharp. All right, then we have a minor sixth above A. So we have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. That's A major. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In A major, we would have F sharp, but we don't want a major sixth, we want a minor sixth. So we just leave it as a natural. If you're doing it by thinking about the scale, that is our A major scale, that's our major sixth. We don't want a major sixth, we want that lowered by a half step, so we just want regular F natural. That makes a minor sixth. Okay. And then we want a perfect octave above G. So G to G. Now if I wanted an augmented octave, I would make this space a little larger by using G sharp. And if I wanted it diminished, I would make that space a little bit contracted by making it G flat. Now remember, it's not a fifth. There we go. It's an octave. What we can't do when making it a diminished octave is we can't do this. Even though F sharp and G flat occupy the same space on the piano keyboard, this is not an eighth. It's a seventh because the notes are only 7 apart. So when you have to look at the number and make sure that you're representing the number. It has to be an octave apart, not a seventh. So I know they sound the same, but they look different. And so you need to make sure you're representing the look in this case. So that is what creating given ascending intervals will look like on the test.